can cook with Brooke. Oh yeah, oh yeah. If you wanna cook, yeah, you can cook with Brooke. Yeah, now if you wanna make it right, you better cook with Brooke. Now if you wanna make it right, you better cook with Brooke. So let's cook with Brooke. If you wanna cook, you can cook with Brooke. Oh yeah, oh yeah. If you wanna cook, yeah, you can cook with Brooke. Yeah, now if you wanna make it right, you better cook with Brooke. Now if you wanna make it right, you better cook with Brooke. So let's cook with Brooke.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? All right, I got to turn this down. How's it going? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yes. Perfect. Okay, good. Guys, always remember to hit my switches, flip my switches and all that, because I will forget. Okay. So hopefully with my new setup, you can hear me as I move around the kitchen, which is a good thing. What we're going to do today is, this is video number 2 of Thanksgiving. So you guys requested fried oyster mushrooms, and you also requested cornbread dressing, right? So that's what we're going to do today. I have another camera that I'm going to set up, and let me show you. So I had 2 cameras going, right? We should be good to go there. And we can move this one around to the stove when we're on the stove. And then this one, I will be talking to you on that one. Okay. So hopefully it all works out. Okay. And then I have this over here. I can move me over just a little bit. Okay. So let's get started. We're going to start with the dressing first. Let me make sure that you can see me there. We're going to start with the dressing. And then, so what I'm going to do is, I forgot to get my blender out. Let me get my blender. So you should still be able to hear me, which is cool. I'm thinking with my new setup, you can still hear me. So I think that's good. So if I go off camera, but I'm still talking to you, I think you guys should be fine. So what we have here, jalapeno, some mini peppers, right? Colored peppers. I don't use the green ones. And some fresh garlic. I don't use garlic, right? So we're going to put that all inside of our little container here and make a little flavor that's going to go inside of our dressing, right? So I don't have to do that much. I usually do take the seeds out of my jalapeno because I don't want it to be too spicy, right? So I take out that part. Seed it, and I stem it. You know, what is it? Can't think of the name of it. De-seed and de-vein. There it is. And de-vein it. Okay. So I'm going to leave my peppers with the veins inside, but the jalapeno definitely want to do that. So let me know in the comments if you are going to be making a soul food Thanksgiving dinner this year, or if you're just kind of watching, thinking about it. Because I know a lot of people that watch me are not yet vegan, but they're like still in the thinking stage. And that's okay. For 30 years, since 1992, so it's been over 30 years now, I started off as a vegetarian, then I did some pescatarian. I've done raw vegan for, twice a year since 2012. So it's all a journey. It's all a journey. And wherever you are is fine in that journey. Whatever you think is your optimum health, it's good to do it. But if you're not there yet, you're not there yet. And that's just what it is, right? No worries. I do think that definitely we're in a time of checking your own health and being about your own health. So definitely make sure that during this time that we're about to enter for the next 4 years, that you're looking out for yourself, right? Doing what you think is best, whatever that is. I'll move a little closer so you can see. This is my little hand chopper from Braun. I love this guy. There you go. You can see that I have chopped that. So what I'm going to do from my recipe guide, this one right here, I'm making, I'm trying to get it on both cameras at the same time, which is not necessarily a thing. I'm making vegan sausage stuffed cornbread dressing. So that's the one I'm making. If you have this recipe guide, it's on Amazon. This is what I'm making, okay? So we're going to go over here. I'm going to move this camera over here so you guys can, I got to move it that way because I forgot. I don't do what I wanted to do. Okay. See, there. That's where I want it. Right there. That's good. Are you hearing an echo or anything? Let me know. If you're hearing an echo, anything is not right with the sound, let me know so I can work on it. Okay, so this is what we got going on here. I got some grapeseed oil. A couple tablespoons of that. And I'm going to put my flavor that I chopped up inside of here. So I have onion, pepper, garlic, jalapeno. I'm going to put to flavor up my cornbread dressing. Okay. I will be. Okay, awesome, Jay. All right. So next we're going to put in some rosemary. We're going to put in our seasonings that make it taste like Thanksgiving, right? So rosemary, sage, thyme, You can use also poultry seasoning if you don't have. I like a little marjoram, and I also like tarragon. Let's see. Just very, very herby, right? This is a time of herbs. Okay, so I'm going to put some tarragon, some thyme, some marjoram, some sage, and a little rosemary, right? Because this is about Thanksgiving. So we want to make it taste that way. Now, if you don't want to make it taste that way, just leave out all the herbs, you know. No worries there, no worries. I'm going to also put in some, now I'm putting in some Beyond Beef, okay? You could use a vegan sausage here if you want it. Now I'm going to tell you what else I'm going to do. Since I'm not using a vegan sausage, I'm just going to use the burger. I'm going to add in some of the little flavors that make it taste like sausage. So I added in some some hot paprika, and I have some minced onion. Now, I'm kind of going with it today, but you can, you know, do exactly what's in my recipe guide. Don't you worry about it. If you're like, oh my God, I don't know. What's in my recipe guide will taste amazing as well. But cooking for me is kind of a fennel seed. That's to make it taste like sausage. Cooking for me is a creative process. So I go and I get creative. This is onion powder. What I'm doing right now is making my Beyond Meat taste like sausage. So that's why I'm putting these extra spices in. Now, another thing, if you don't want to use Beyond Meat, you can use ground walnut here, ground mushrooms. But if you use the mushrooms, make sure that you sear them off. Don't, like 1 year, I did this right on Livestream. It's on YouTube as well. My husband was like, hey, I want mushrooms in it to make it feel like oyster mushrooms that my mother used to make. So I was like, okay, cool. So I just put in fresh mushrooms without searing them off. And that is not good because it added all this extra liquid to the dressing. And so when I took it out, it looked good on top, but it was too wet inside and it never really got itself together. So keep that in mind. If you do mushrooms, go ahead and saute them off. If you, let's read. I had to figure out how to make everything from scratch this year because most ingredients that I would use for shortcuts now have bioengineered ingredients in it. So I'm here for all the tips. Hey, Brooke, I'm here for all the tips. I actually use the Beyond Meat sausages. I love to use all herbs. Okay, great, Ursula. And Jay, yeah. So you can definitely do ground walnut and mushroom. Just sear it off. Just make sure you saute it. Either one, I am not, I don't have a preference on whether it's, you know, pea protein from a package or whether I'm using walnut meat and all of that. Because I know that I'm eating lots of fruits and vegetables that are organic and smoothies and juices and all this stuff. So I balance out my health that way. Now, some people dibble and dabble in plant-based. They're not doing the whole thing. So then they feel they have a problem with the bioengineered things, or they just want to do, you know, they're just purists. And The thing about that is, if you have the time, that's why I go pure 60 days out of the year, because it takes a lot. You don't always have the time. And if you're committed to plant-based, which I'm committed to plant-based, then sometimes that means you got to do what you got to do. Like if I go out to eat somewhere and they have Impossible Burger, I eat it because I'm plant-based. So I'm not pescatarian anymore. So I'm not going to get the fish instead. I'm going to go ahead and get the plant-based. And then it is what it is. Just make sure that I cleanse and take care of myself with fruits and veggies, and do that very regularly. Eat raw, all the things, right? So your comments are behind me, so I have to every once in a while check that. Okay, so here is our sausage, right? Now what we're going to do is put some water and mushroom seasoning in there. Okay. So we're basically making a broth out of the mushroom seasoning. And I showed you the mushroom seasoning on my last Thanksgiving video. So go back to that if you don't know what this is. I did it, I think, last Sunday. So there we go. We've got our liquid that we're going to use for our dressing. But what we're going to do right now is go ahead and start. I made some cornbread earlier, and I'm going to show you a little video of that so that my only concern was the binder for the dressing, because my dairy and gluten allergy, so I ended up using the Just Egg to bind it. It came out great. Okay, yeah. See, I don't use a binder. I don't use a binder. So, and it tends to come out pretty good. Let me put a video file up of me making the cornbread while I don't like I don't know if it's my screen, but it looks like it's overexposed to me. And that must have to do with the software that I'm using. But for right now, I am chopping up the bread that I need. I just got any old kind of bread. I just read the directions, make sure that it's not. Can you guys still hear me? I wonder. Over the video? Okay. Anyway, that was the video. I don't know if you still can hear me or not over that video. What I'm doing right now is just, let's see if I can make this. Yes, you could. Okay, that's good to know. I'm still trying to work it all out. Okay. I used to use the software a lot more often, and now I use it a lot less. So I have to relearn everything in terms of what you can see and hear and all of that. All right, so what I'm doing here is just breaking up some regular bread. This is a wheat bread. This is not even bread that I would eat normally, because it's just kind of wheat colored white bread. That's what I really would consider it, and I don't eat white bread. But for something like this, for consistency, I don't usually go with something high multigrain and all of that, because it just, it's Thanksgiving. It might not come out right, so sometimes you just gotta, go with something a little cheaper so that it comes out right. Okay. That's just what it is. So I'm just using a very cheap little white bread here. What I have done in the past is I've just taken pieces of bread, like when it gets around now, if I have any bread, I put it in the freezer. And then when it's time to do my dressing, I just pull that out of the freezer and I use a variety of whatever I have. Okay, so in this instance, though, I went to the store today and I got that little cheap wheat bread that I wouldn't eat, but I think it's fine for this. Oh, let me say another thing too. This is fine. This is Jiffy vegetarian. This is fine if that's what you have. These are the different kind of cornmeals that are out there from Bob's. From the supermarket. That's what I saw today. Stone ground. That's what I used today to give my cornmeal a little bit more texture. If I was just eating cornbread, I probably would use a finer medium ground. But when I'm making dressing, I like it to have a little bit more, grab to it. Excuse me. Jalapenos. So I use the stone ground today. But if I was just making plain old, if I was just making, let me move this phone. If I was just making plain old cornbread, I wouldn't use the stone ground. I would use medium ground. So I have my cornbread that I made earlier that I just showed you a little video of, right? And I don't know. Maybe for your screen it wasn't as overexposed, but for mine it looks so overexposed, and I couldn't really make it out. Let's read. Thank you so much for this. You are putting in work, getting these lives to us. Yes, I am. Yes, good. I am putting in work. I'm glad somebody noticed that. But I actually like, I know how to edit videos as well, shoot them and all that. I like the live streams because then I can talk to you guys and answer things on the fly if you have questions. Because I do put content out all over the place. And sometimes I don't get to see all the questions, or it takes me a couple days to get to all the questions because I put content out in so many places. So when I'm on the live stream, I can answer it right on the fly, which is a good thing. So anyway, I'm breaking up my cornbread. And again, this is stone ground, right? This is the one that I decided to use for this. Stone ground cornmeal. I have used Jiffy in the past. I don't have a problem with it. I have used Trader Joe's. They have a good one. Aldi has a gluten-free one. So it really just depends on where I am at that time in my life. Like and you really don't know from year to year how you're going to be when it's time to cook this, cook a big meal. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what the deal is. So anyway, I got my regular bread and my cornbread mixed together, right? Now, wash my hands. I'm going to go ahead and take some of this out. Whoop. Take that phone out of there. Took some of the phone out. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and season it again. I should have left those out with all my holiday seasonings, right? So I'm going to do it again. So I season the bread and I season the wet mixture. And that's just the way that I do it. You could do it any way you want to do it. Not deal. All right, and marjoram. And I think that's everything. So mix it up. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put our liquid in. Sorry for the scratching. Let's use a soft one. All right, now we just mix that around. Yeah, that tastes good. My son saw that I was making this. He was pretty excited. By the time we get to Thanksgiving, I have made all of this stuff because I make it for you guys. So sometimes we're bored with it. Sometimes, definitely for Christmas, we do something different, completely different. Because we have had the Thanksgiving food just an amazing amount of time. Okay, let's see. This feels like it needs a little bit more water. So I'm going to put a little bit more water. Could be because I use the stone ground. Not as wet as I want it to be. Okay. There we go. A little bit of water here. And it's okay for it to be more wet because it'll firm up. Right? Because remember, this is twice baked. This is basically twice baked cornbread. And to whose point? Ursula's point about the binder. You know, the egg has, the cornmeal has, cornbread has already some binder in it from when I made it. All right, so there we go. Some people put things like cream in here, and because because of the mushroom soup, but not me, because I've never made it like that. All right, so there we go. So that's sausage stuffed, and we're gonna put that in there in the oven. Into the oven. Now, I'm going to go with the oyster mushrooms now. Let's see. See if I can make, I'm going to remove this one, and then let's see if I can make, I think we'll leave it like that. Okay, so now we're going to go with the oyster mushrooms, and this is what I have. So my oyster mushrooms from last week that I showed you in last week's live stream are still holding up. Okay, they're still holding up. Imagine that. See, they last. If you get them, the key though is do not get them with any moisture. Get them very dry. Because if you get them with any moisture, they're only going to get more moisture. Like, I didn't need to leave these in this plastic bag. I should have put them in a paper bag. But I knew they would hold up for a week. So I just left it. But if you want them to hold up for 2 weeks, put it in a paper bag with some paper towels, right? So there we go. Cut off the ends. And these little ends, I use these sometimes for when I'm trying to mimic clams. Yeah, I use that. I'm not going to use it. I might use it in my gravy today. I don't like to waste anything. All right, so take your little pieces of your oyster mushroom. Get a little damp paper towel, just wipe it down a little bit. It's really, I don't really see anything on it, but just to be sure, wipe it off, wipe me down. And I'm on wipe me down, I'm on wipe me down. All right, so I'm going to save these because I might use those in my gravy later. So now we have our oyster mushrooms. I'm going to pull out my bowl. Okay. I'm going to pull out my bowl and also a plastic bag. So, again, this is in my recipe guide. So this oyster mushroom is in this recipe guide, right? This one. So the dressing is in this one. The other one is in this one. I'm not writing it down because I wrote it down in recipe guides. So don't look for it inside the description. It ain't going to be there. You either watch this again or get the recipe guide. I'm not writing it down. I'm doing to know what part you going to do. No. Let me get my fried things. It wasn't the fried things. Fried things. Oh, here we go. Hot chicken, fried oyster mushrooms. Okay. And I try to, when I'm doing these, I try to follow the directions. I try. I know I went off. Actually, I just went off just now, right? It says 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I just use a scoop. Okay. And some water, onion powder, garlic powder. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going off script. But you know what? Teaspoon something. Yeah, about a teaspoon. Or more. Whoops. Or more. Or less. Whatever. If as long as it's not salt in it, you should be, you can go crazy with enjoying yourself with your seasonings, right? Now, you don't want to go too crazy, but, you can go a little crazy. I remember when I was a little girl and I was making steak. Yeah, that's when I used to eat meat. I was like 12. I went too far. It wasn't good. But, my dad, he ate it. So that was Creole seasoning. And that one does have salt. So I just use a little bit. Okay. I also have a little mushroom seasoning I'm going to put inside. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Okay. Just a teaspoon. Now, silly me. I was supposed to do that twice. But I had to pull everything back out again. So, back with the flour, putting it in a bag. Okay, put my flour in a bag. Dry batter. Dry batter. Garlic powder. Onion powder. I'm not going to put mushroom seasoning in it because that mushroom seasoning needs to dissolve. So no reason to put that in. Instead of the Creole, I'm going to put smoked paprika only because I don't want to double salt it. Then we're going to put some parsley. If I haven't, yeah, I got some. Okay. Dried parsley in the dry. And yeah, that's it. Not going to put the Creole. You could if you want, but I'm, trying to watch the salt. If you have no salt Creole, which I usually have, I don't today. You can go a little more crazy, but when you don't, watch your salt. Okay. Now, I'll put this guy back over here. We're about to fry it up. Fry it up. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Frame good. Okay. I'm using avocado oil You could use grapeseed. You could use soybean. You could use whatever you want. Something that has a high smoke point because you are frying. Olive oil, I wouldn't suggest. But I guess I'm speaking to this. People get all up in arms about frying. Frying is frying. If you don't want to fry, then air fry. But the oils aren't that much different. It's all frying. There's too much going on in terms of people being afraid of food, rejecting food. And you know what ends up happening? When you act so like, I can't do this and I can't do that with food and I can't, you end up just going all off the walls because it becomes too much. So basically, my suggestion is to adopt a point of view and be okay with that point of view. So if your point of view is no process, then make sure you're keeping that same energy when you're eating meat. So meaning that know that when you go to fast food, they're processing things. So don't just pick on vegan food and say it's processed, because when you feel like going to get a lunch meat sandwich, knowing that you eat meat, it's processed as well. Hardee's is processed. McDonald's is processed. So if no process is your deal, keep the same energy. Don't just blame it on vegan food. If vegan food is your deal, then know that sometimes you're going to eat processed things because it's a matter of time and convenience. So basically, in my opinion, you need to adopt a point of view of what you think is healthy and try to do that most of the time. Don't try to beat up on something. What I'm trying to say, people know darn well they're not 100% plant-based, but when they feel like it, because of whatever guilt or whatever was happening with their day that day, they want to beat up on vegan food and say that it's processed. But then they know that they go out and even the chicken is, you think you're getting this great chicken. Chicken is even shot up with things, beef. So all I'm saying is keep that same energy. Don't just be like, it's processed, and then you end up eating all kinds of saturated fats, trans fats, all these kinds of things. You're getting all the heavy metals from the ocean, all the things, because you're like beating up on one philosophy and not really checking the philosophy that you're a part of. So my thing is, make sure that whatever you're going to do, you know what you're doing. So like when I was pescatarian, I made sure that I juiced a lot of parsley and cilantro. And I also did a lot of cleansing and parasite cleansing, because I knew that I was eating sushi, which is raw fish. I knew that I was eating more fish than the average person because I'm pescatarian. So I was eating more fish than the regular person. I was eating more fish than an omnivore and there's an imbalance there. And the imbalance is that you keep exposing your body to these things like heavy metals and parasites, and it doesn't give your body enough time to get rid of it. So I even say that when we talk about juicing. When you are going to go on a raw and juice fast, make sure that you're getting as much organic as possible, because you are exposing your body to pesticides, if not, right? And then you're not getting the benefit of cooking the food. So when we cook food, a lot of times we cook away bacteria and things that are bad for us, and that helps. But when you are going raw, make sure that you are getting organic, so that you're not doing too many pesticides. It's just, you have to, with all things, you need balance. That's all I'm saying. I very much promote balance. You're not going to catch me doing all these extremes and telling people they need to do this X, Y, and Z, or else, they're going to, all these bad things are going to happen. It's incremental. It takes time, and it's about balance, and that's just the truth of it. And if you're not factoring in convenience, budget, and how much energy you have to create your food, then you're going to fail at whatever you're trying to do. Like, for instance, I would love to be raw vegan all the time, but make no illusions about what it takes to do that. So I only do it 60 days out of the year. And sometimes it's 45 days, but I know that it takes a lot. And I know that my schedule, maybe it's too cold out, blah, 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 all these different things keep me from being able to do it. So I have to also factor in convenience, know what my point of view is. I feel like plant-based is most healthy for me. I feel like raw vegan is very, very healthy, but I can't do it all the time because I like to eat out. I like special restaurants. I like date night with my husband. You can't always get something good when you're raw and juice fasting. We can't always find something very cool for date night. And we are very big on date night. So, it's all about remembering your joy. For me, it is anyway. All right, let's start turning these guys. Oh, that's golden. Look how golden that is. Okay. That's golden. Probably some of them need a little bit more. Living my life like it's golden. Yeah, I remember I used to be a admin for a juice group for like 4 years. And then a couple times a year, maybe 4 times a year, the group would do a raw and juice fast. Oh no, they would do juice fast only. I was always doing raw, adding raw to it because that's what I wanted to do. But they would do juice fast only. And people would be like, I ate lettuce. Oh, I feel so bad. And it's like, but you was just eating a pork hot sausage the day before. If you ate some lettuce, just give yourself a break. Give yourself some grace. Don't be like that, because all you're going to do is say, oh, I can't do it, give the whole thing up. And you would have been better off with juice and lettuce or juice and whatever than going back to your hot sausage. So that's where I'm, talking about like grace and just making sure that you are taking care of yourself, and being good to yourself and being gentle with yourself, and know that it's a process. But if you're looking for perfection, you're just going to do nothing. Do y'all agree with that? Let me know in the comments what you think. Tell me what you think. Maybe I'm all off. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Maybe I don't know exactly what I'm talking about at all. Can you even hear me out there? All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is what we got. Put a few more in. I'm gonna tell you something I've been wanting to do. I keep forgetting to go over to the Restaurant Depot. I want to make my middle section of my refrigerator a salad bar, like with prepped up veggies. And it's not just going to be for salad. It's going to be also for things like ramen, pasta, just having it veggies prepped up. And I keep forgetting to go over and look at the containers that I need, because I think that that is really going to help me sometimes when I'm tired at the end of the night, because I work a job and I haven't worked outside of my house in many years, but I do now. And I'm tired. So I feel like if I had my veggies all chopped up in that middle section of my refrigerator, I could just go in there, pop things inside a ramen, whatever, a salad, bibimbap bowl. Don't you think that's a good idea? Let me know if you think that's a good idea. I just gotta get to doing it. Let's see. They're gone. 4 people, nobody's talking. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. We're gonna fry these up, and then we're going to make this gravy. And I gotta think about what else I'm gonna cook. Oh, spinach. That's right. I bought some spinach. I'm gonna have spinach. Now let's taste one. That's really good. All right. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, right. That's you. So you like my idea, Jay? I think it's a great idea because it's just gonna make it easier for me to get the nutrients that I want, right? To get the fruits and vegetables that I want in my body, because sometimes if I'm too tired, I'll just come home and, eat some vegan chicken nuggets or something like that. When if I had it already, I could have a salad, right? I could have a salad. So, and I could also put those things in my smoothie. Now I do things, I don't know if you watched my smoothie live the other day, but I do things like prepare fruit squares. I keep those frozen. I have all kinds of ways that I prep, but I think that this is just another thing that I need to prep so I can get more fruits and veggies. Because when I'm tired, I might go out to eat, and you don't know what's in that. I mean, it tastes yummy, but if we want to just do more fruits and veggies, it's probably better to just have it prepped. And it's only 4:54. I might be able to go over there today. It's Sunday. They might be closed at 6. But it gets so dark now. You be thinking it's 8 o'clock. It's like 5 o'clock. So this, see how this, we have this leftover flour inside of the pan? That's going to be our gravy. We're going to make that into gravy. Yeah, these are about done. Put them on a cooling rack. Yep. Now, I wouldn't necessarily make these for Thanksgiving, but you know, if that's what you're doing, it ain't nothing wrong with it. It makes it easy. You can put some gravy with it. Who gonna check you, boo? All right, so let me turn this down. I'm gonna get my slurry together. I'm gonna just put you over here so you can see. Okay, so this is actually sometimes you see this right here, that right there. I'm gonna use that as my slurry. Sometimes I do that, and yeah, because that's zero waste right there. Just go ahead and move this phone all out my way, all out the way it is. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this right here is going. I'm going to use that as my. It's nothing but flour and water, right? And it's already seasoned up. So you can take that right there. Whoop, and make that into your gravy slurry, right? That way you saved it. Let me just taste it a little bit, make sure it tastes good enough. It needs a little bit more mushroom seasoning. And now I'm just going to put it in here. I'm going to move you back over here so you can see. There you go. Now I'm going to take this. Where's my whisk? Because we got to move fast. When you have a hot pan, grease, flour, move fast with your slurry to make a gravy. Okay. And here we go. Let's move that around. Put a little more water in it. Now I have the heat on low right now. Let the oil and the flour emulsify. And there we go. We made a gravy. And we made it out of our wet batter and our oil from frying. So that's zero waste. Okay. Let me taste it. Make sure it tastes good. And that's perfect. A little bit more water. And that's good. You made a gravy. And that's for our dressing. All right. Now, I'm going to set this over here. Put it on low. Let it keep going. Then I'm gonna start my my spinach. I'll put some spinach in here. Just a quick thing. I think this dressing is about done. I got some spinach. And I'm not going too far with it. Just gonna let me put these mushroom pieces, rinse them off real good, rinse them off, and put them inside of my gravy. There we go. Okay, so put that in there. And I'm over here now. I'll make some, just take some garlic. Make some sautéed spinach. Got like 4 cloves of garlic here. I'm gonna press it with my press. Can y'all see? I hope so. Okay, so I got my 4 cloves of garlic. I'll take some spinach. Reach it off. Reach it off. And then, you know, this spinach will go down to nothing. All right, let that sit there for a minute and let it drain out. All right. All right. So we're back over here, and I'm going to use some olive oil. A little olive oil. Oh, that's so dark. I'm going to take our garlic right here. Come back over to the stove. Okay, so that's on low. Getting the garlic essence out of it.
Is your camera down on purpose?
Oh, is it? I was wondering why that color was that way.
Where's your control? Did you push it down on the control?
No. Maybe. It's off. Oh, point it down. Oh. Yeah, I put it on a yeah, I did. All right. I got my cornmeal out the way. All right, so now we're going to just put the spinach in. And that's just gonna be my side right there. Just the spinach. It's gonna cook down to nothing. Put some garlic and onion powder in it. And some pepper. Some salt. Okay. And one more thing.
They're all kind of backs into the camera.
My back is not always to the camera. Sometimes it is, but they can hear me. Okay, yeah, that was all. Oh, you mean what I made was fast, Jay? This whole meal? My husband says my back is to y'all, but I can't be like here and looking over there. So all I can do is talk while I'm cooking. All right. And then you can see me right here, what I'm doing with the spinach. Okay, so I'm just going to put the rest of the spinach in there. Kind of let it do its thing. And put that on top. Boom. All right, so let's look on our dressing because I think it should be done. Okay, let's see what's going on with the dressing. Yeah, see? Trying to show it to you. Okay, there. Dressing is done. Okay. Cancel, turn it off. Dressing is done. So our dressing is done, our fried chicken is done, our gravy is done, and our spinach is gonna be done in very short order because it's spinach. And that's gonna make dinner. Now I'm gonna look at the time and see how long it took me today. I usually like to do 1 hour live stream. Let's see. Was it 1 hour? One hour and 4 minutes I'm at. Okay. You're doing great. We understand your cooking and we can see from multiple angles. It's all good. Okay, great. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. All right, so yeah, so we're at like 1 hour and 4 minutes. So I'm pretty much in my zone of how long it takes me to get this done. I'm just waiting for the spinach to be done. Then we're going to plate it up and we're going to eat. See, that fresh garlic will make this very fragrant, very garlicky. And I use onion powder and garlic powder. Olive oil helps. So I don't have to do too much to this. To lay it back on and get a plate. Okay, so we're gonna start plating this up. Trying to get, okay, that looks like a good position right there so y'all can see it. Okay. Got my little scoop. Put my dressing. Oh yeah, that looks good. Probably shouldn't do 2 scoops, but hey, that dressing looks pretty good, right? Can you see it? See the dressing? See, get it a little better. There we go. The dressing. Okay, so we're gonna put some chicken on here. Some fried oyster mushrooms, whatever you want to call it. And, oh yeah, my gravy looking great. I'll put some gravy. Looking for my little scoop. Oh, here we go. My gravy. Put the gravy on there. Can you see it? Gravy. Yes. Perfect. Now we just have a little space for the spinach. Okay. I'm gonna turn the spinach off. Okay. So here we go. There goes our plate. Put this back here. It's hot. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Turn my gravy off. All right. So now let me get y'all up here. All right. So now we are going to eat some of this food. The fun part. The fun part, okay? Let's try to. That dressing is amazing. Very good. Spinach, hot, very hot. You get a little bit of gravy on this chicken. So there we go. Yum, yum, yum. All in just about an hour. So let me say in the last minute, this has been wonderful now to implement what I've learned. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day too, Jay. I appreciate you. Bye-bye. Tell a friend, subscribe and like, and share it if you loved it. Bye-bye.